What's up, everyone? Welcome inside my tiny 40 square foot home office. Come on in.
Cracka on the track.
All right, so I know you're thinking this is small, right? And this is literally, we're in the basement. So there's the stairs right there. You know, I worked from home for over a decade, and where I used to live, I'd have a separate room that was an office. And so I'd wake up, you know, in the bedroom and go to a separate room, and that was kind of like going to work. Was going in another room, and I could shut the door, I had some privacy. But where we live right now, it's an apartment, and I had an upstairs loft area where I was working from, and I didn't have that privacy. And I found that some people, they can work really well around a lot of people, or they like window views and stuff. I have ADHD and I'm very easily distracted. So what I found was I have a 10-year-old daughter and I'm married, my wife, shout out to her, she's filming this. And whenever they would get home from school, I wouldn't be able to get anything done. I'd just be up there and I'd hear the TV come on, I'd be distracted. My daughter had friends over, I'd be distracted. I just couldn't get anything done. But during the school day, while I was home alone, I was cruising, I'd get a lot of stuff done. So I knew I needed a creative spot to work out of. And this is where I do a lot of video editing, a lot of planning, working on websites, things like that. So option one was go rent a space, and I'm still in the process of doing that. Know that that costs money. So I was thinking, what's the cheapest, easiest way that I could get up and running as soon as possible? My dad lives about 5 minutes from where we do, so we're in his basement right now. So what this was before was just storage. Spider webs everywhere, and some storage racks and old paint, nails, and I knew that he wasn't using this space. So the first thing we did was get rid of all the storage, throw away all the junk. We got the shop vac and vacuumed up all the spider webs, and we cleaned everything out. Then the next step was, if you've seen my previous recording studio, Cracka recording studio, I like that black and white vibe. In the studio, the ceiling, the walls, everything was black, and I had some white panels, everything was black and white. So I wanted the same look, so we went to the store. I'm gonna tell you the cost of all this stuff. So if you wanted to do your own home office or a look like this, I'll let you know about what this costs. It was about, I think, a gallon of paint, and we just did whatever the cheapest black, flat, matte, I don't know the word, paint. It was about a gallon of that, like $20 to $30. We might have used two, I don't think so. My brother's father-in-law, shout out to him, he came in here and he sprayed everything. In like 20 minutes, he did the ceiling, and boom, voila, everything is black. Then the next step was the floor. So it was just cement, and we wanted to put, you know, some sort of carpet, but being budget friendly. So we just went to Menards and we got some cheap carpet. It was a little struggle to get it down. It was some glue. We had to buy a tub or two of glue. I want to say the glue was maybe $20 to $30. And then this carpet was about $120, $130. And so now we had the floor in, we had the walls painted, and the next step was bringing in all of my, you know, all of my shit. So over here, this is a shelf, little rack thing from Walmart. I want to say this is like 35 bucks. It's black, it fits the vibe. And this is where I keep my, so I have an Aperture 300D Mark II, keep that in there. And what's nice about this is, let's say I'm filming some videos like right here. I want people to know that I have some nice things. That's somewhat of authority. It shows that, hey, he must be somewhat serious. I want to say $1,100, $1,200 light, something like that. So yeah, throw that right there. And then whenever I get home, so I shoot music videos, I use this Soundcore speaker, and I have this power strip right here, and this is where all my chargers are. The camera that I'm filming this with, this is the Sony a7S III, and so I got the charger. This is where I charge my batteries. When I'm doing some vlogging, right? Like selfie style, is the Sony ZV-1. Again, I got 3 or 4 batteries for this. So I got all the batteries charging right there. Whatever these batteries are called, I charge these right there. I got a little double charger. Any questions you guys have about like, hey, what was this? Where can I get that? Let me know in the comments, and I'll put links in the description too. This is my cage, this is my small rig cage. Let me know if you want me to make a future video about what's in my camera bag or what I shoot with, because I have screen monitor, the cage, the handle, the grip, stuff like this. I think all this is Small Rig is the brand. And then on this shelf, this is my camera bag. So when I get home from the shoot, I come down here with my camera bag, take it off, I take the camera out, take the memory card, put it in the computer, take the batteries out, get them charging, put everything back in the camera bag, keep it right here, that way I don't lose shit. I got some headphones for when I'm editing. These are some Audio Technica ATK M50X. Put a link in the description if you guys like these. These are the headphones that I use at the recording studio for like mixing and mastering. Lots of reviews. I did a lot of research before I bought these. So I've used these for years prior to these white ones. You know, you see my vibe, it's kind of black and white. I had a pair of black ones and I used those for years. And then one day I wanted to get a pair of these, and I think it was like 160 bucks. The vibe, right? Yeah, you gotta have a vibe. A lot of this stuff came from Amazon. How you feeling today? You feeling kind of angry. That's red, right? Boom, we got the red. Then over here, boop, red, got the red look. Let's go back to blue. This was a 2-pack of RGB LED light strips. I'll put links to the ones that I used. Plug them in right there. I got them running along the wall. I doubled it up so it would be extra bright. Because I went around one time and I'm like, oh man, the color's not strong enough. And I had more, so then I ran it around a second time and I like that. Before we get to this cool desk area, stay over here. This light, got this off Amazon. When I started the podcast, before I moved my stuff down here, this was kind of in the background, so I'd be like talking to the camera right here and you would see this in the background. I was like, man, everyone has these cool like neon lights behind them, and in a perfect world, I'd have one with my brand. So potentially if you're a neon light brand company and you wanna reach out, shoot me an email, crack@crackalack.com. Let's get, some sort of custom Crackalack light, and I can tell my audience about your cool lights. Tell them that's where they need to go. But until then, on a budget, this was like less than $20. I wanna say like $17, $18. Turn it off, turn it on. We got 2 of the LED light strips. I wanted an area I'm gonna be filming a lot more short form content. And this was really inspired by Ryan McGinn. So shout out to Ryan McGinn. I noticed he's got a small studio space and he films a lot of short form TikTok videos. I'd seen that he was always sitting in like a little gray chair, and he had like, a fuzzy black rug under him. He had a lot of these black panels on the wall. So this chair was about $130. This came from Walmart. He got one from IKEA. I just went to Walmart and I got, the next best thing. This rug was what, $20 from Walmart? Fuzzy gay black rug. I believe these come in a pack of 6 or a pack of 12. And I got 2 packs or 3 packs. I'll put it in the description. These are pretty cheap, $10, $20, $30, not that much. Do they help that much? I think they help a little bit. More so like if I'm talking right here, they're close by. Ideally, I'd have some maybe right here too. I did notice the first video that I filmed standing over there and I didn't have any of these up. It just sounded like I was in a wide open, just empty basement. That's why I ordered more and I put them all up. I've only filmed a couple videos since, and it did help, it did help. And then on the ceiling, these came from my recording studio. Me and my wife actually made these. We bought this rock wool fiber panels. I think making one of these was like $30 to $40, or you could buy them pre-made and it was like $80 to $90. So it was like half the price if we made them ourselves. So we turned it into like a couple relationship bonding experience. And she did most of it, getting the insulation, and then we went to a local fabric store. So you could go to like a Michael's, Joann Fabrics, Walmart even. And I just got some white, whatever this fabric is, and we wrapped them. And then we got some glue and just basically wrapped it like a present and then glued it shut. And then we got these hanging from the ceiling with some fish hook wire. That's up on the ceiling. This is cool. Got 2 of them in here. And then now over here on this area, standing desk. I would say more than half the time I'm standing up here and I'm just right here in my zone getting some shit done. Less than half the time I'll actually sit down here. So it's just a button, go back up. I got a white desk, that's my vibe, black and white. It's very modern, it's clean looking. I don't remember how much this was. This was a couple $100. I'll put a link in the description, I'll find it. I did buy this a few years ago, so by now, there might be cheaper ones that might be a better option, but I'll put a link to the one that I got. Maybe I'll put a second link to the one that, if I were to buy one today, what I would get. For the screen, this is just a Samsung. It's a 1080 32-inch TV. This is about $220 or so. I've worked with a 32-inch TV for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, a while. It helps with my eyes. I can see everything. If I'm editing videos and I need to see all the details, it's a big screen, it's right in front of you. So a lot of times people end up having like workspace or workflow issues where they might struggle and it takes them a lot longer to get things done than other people. And the reality is you might have some workspace issues or workflow issues. I was talking to my behind the scene guy, shout out to Malik Bokadishis. He edits these videos on this small laptop and he's hunched over and he spends hours editing. And I was telling him, bro, compare your editing experience, hunched over on your lap, you don't even have a mouse or anything, you're trying to edit these videos and it's taking you hours. Terrible workflow issue. I have a standing desk, I have a 32-inch screen, got the mouse, the keyboard, like this is created to make the job of me editing videos as easy as possible because, I've made a lot of money doing this. This is investing in yourself. This is, okay, how can I make this process easier for me? And one of the things was like, okay, I gotta create that environment that allows me to get more done. And so this was my investment. With the chair, this came from our local Office Max store. Basically, I just went to the local furniture store, sat down in 20 different chairs, and this one was within my budget, worked well. I've gotten comments on a lot of YouTube videos about like Posture King, sitting down. It's a good one, it's got the back support, right? You can adjust these arms, like that's trash. So with the arms up high, I'm good to go right here. Keyboard I'm using, I like the vibe of the whole gaming keyboards and mouses. They got the cool lights that change different colors. This keyboard did come originally with a different mouse mouse, and I think after like 5 or 6 years, the mouse died. It died, so RIP. And about a month ago, I went and got this just from Walmart. ONN is the brand, On. They're really on, they got double N's in there. It's a wireless mouse. The wireless was causing me some lag here and there, so I just plugged it in. Haven't really had problems. Got these speakers that I use. If I'm really trying to get editing done fast, I know to eliminate the distractions is put the headphones on. So that's why I put the headphones on that I showed you guys. These are just some like $20 Walmart speakers, nothing crazy. And then I got a desk clamp. So the light back there, it clamps to the desk, and then you can change it to be kind of like that yellow, which is ugly. I don't really like that. Or you got the bright white LED lights, and then you can adjust the brightness. So there's a plus button to make it brighter and a minus button to make it less bright. I'll have a link to that. I want to say that was like a $20, $30 type of thing. And then for whether it's tutorials, YouTube videos, podcasting, right now I'm borrowing this from my cousin. So this is a Shure SM7B. These are mics that, honestly, if you watch any big podcast, this is the ones that they're using. I did some research, and what he said was, hey, if I was starting a podcast, what equipment would I need if I wanted to get like all the best shit? So I was like, okay, well, let me do some research. And I found all the big dogs, they're using the Shure SM7B mics, so that's what you need. Right now his podcast isn't up and running, so I said, hey, can I borrow one of those? I'm gonna put it to use. He said, no problem. So I got this mic that I'm using. I wanna say this is a couple $100 microphone, if I'm not mistaken. A cheap $20 desk arm clamp. It can be out the way, you're getting some stuff done. Then if you wanna film videos, boom. I know when it comes to creating content, it can be a process. And so one thing that I found was remove all the little barriers, things that could slow down your process. Let's say every single time it came to creating content, you had to set up your light, you had to set up your mic, you had to set up your camera, you had to go through this whole process. You're gonna start to dread creating the content, because it's like, oh God, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Maybe I'll create the content another day. So for me, it was, I need to make that as easy as possible. So if I have an idea and I wanna create the content, I can just do it right here, right now. So I have this is a Joby. It's a flexible tripod. One, you can use it for, if you wanted to vlog, like attach it to the camera, you can have it like this. And now you're doing a selfie, you can get farther away. The other thing is you can make it a little tripod. So I keep this right there, and I'll put that camera right there. This light is always there. This tripod is always there. The only thing I gotta do is pull this mic out, and just like that, I'm ready to go and I can capture it. Having this right here just makes that process as easy as possible for me. And then with the mic, there's a lot of people that said you need a cloud lifter to help give it power. I don't know. So it said you needed one of these. So this is a cloud lifter. This is a couple $100 because you can plug 2 mics into it. So I'm also borrowing this from my cousin. Shout out to Danny. And this cloud lifter goes into my Focusrite, because you gotta have an interface. And then the Focusrite is what I use to turn the volume up on the mic, turn the volume down. And then the Focusrite has a USB that goes into the computer. So you got mic goes into the cloud lifter goes into the interface, and I have a Focusrite. Interface goes to the computer. So that's how I capture the audio. If you guys have questions about software I use or whatever, just let me know in the comments, because I'm trying to create a lot of content to help you guys out. So let me know in the comments. All right, the computer. This is a custom built computer. I built this about 5 years ago. I'll let you know the specs real quick. For the processor, I did an Intel Core i7-6800 CPU. It's 3.4 gigahertz. Nerd right here. RAM, it says 56 gigs. I don't think that's an option, so I'm pretty sure there's 64 in there. Maybe it just lists 56. I'm not a Mac guy. I like Windows. It's Windows 10 Home. The graphics card, I'm not sure. And then what I found with building computers a lot of times is you have one hard drive that just has your Windows, like your operating system on it, and then like the programs installed. And then you have a separate hard drive. And this is where you're gonna store all your files, like all your music, your pictures, your video. I have a separate drive that I use. I call it my work drive. So any videos that I'm editing, I use that. So for the software, I have an M2 drive. I guess there's like regular hard drives. Then there was SSD hard drives. Above that is like M2 or M, just really fast. And that's what I have Windows installed on. I use SSD drives for everything else. I have a calendar right here. I get this from Walmart. It's like cheap, $10 or something like that for the whole year. Any bills that I have due, I write those all out on my calendar, and then all of my bills, they go right here. And what I do is I'll see, okay, today's the 1st, this bill is due. So I grab it off the top, I make sure it's paid. Once it's paid, I rip the bill in half, throw it away, cross it off here. That's how I stay on track of paying bills. And then this also, you know, just knowing the date it is, knowing the week, writing a goal for the whole month, things like that. Just being aware of time. What I found is a lot of people that don't have self-awareness, they struggle with time. Guys that haven't been to the studio in 6 months. When they come to the studio, I'm like, man, it's been a while since you've been here. They're like, man, it's been a few months. I'm like, here, I can tell you. Pull up their file. I said, you haven't been here in 6 months. Like, dang, lose track of time. So having a calendar keeps you on track of time. I got a picture of my daughter from back in the day at the studio, and then a flower from a friend of mine had passed away, and at the funeral, they passed out flowers. And my wife, for me, framed one of the flowers from the funeral. So I have that right there. RIP to Lakai's. Kai's dramatic. All right, you guys, that about wraps everything up. This was inside my tiny 40 square foot home office. Let me know, are you the type that likes privacy and is easily distracted in like small spaces to work out of? Or are you the type that likes to be around a lot of people? I've tried the coffee shop thing, like going there with a laptop, and that's like anti-productivity for me, is to be around a bunch of people trying to get things done. Like I can't focus or concentrate. So let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Cracka TV, we out.